I ask you to put your hands together to show her some love. Ragini.
I am not Russell Peters' mom. And I'm also not related to Mindy Kaling. But I'm really glad that we live in a time where you're not like, she looks like Oprah. But my mom, she's more typical immigrant woman, little with a bun. She wears a sari. She has a slap faster than a deli taxi. But I grew up knowing I was fully Canadian. I know that because I say sorry a lot. And I spell neighbor our way. And on every Canada Day, I get my red and white clothes on and go shopping in the States. I grew up Canadian, but somehow I ended up marrying my husband. He's Indian, and he brought his parents to live with us. I learned a lot from living in an extended family with my in-laws. I learned to roll a perfect roti. I learned to speak Hindi. And I learned that nothing I ever did would ever be good enough. But when I was a kid, there wasn't a lot of divorce. We learned what we knew about blended families from our role models on TV. I watched the Brady Bunch. My kids, they learned about blended families by watching Full House. But I'm worried about kids these days, because the blended family they might watch is on the Game of Thrones. I hated school. Kids were mean. Teachers were bullies. And I always ended up in the office. My family thought I needed an attitude adjustment. And I'm like, who cares if I go? They're like, Mom, you're the principal. Everyone cares. But I had a hard time getting through school, and even at university, I couldn't decide what did I want to major in. People said, you should try everything. So I did. I tried English, Spanish, drugs. Also, when I was little, I was so cool. My friend and I, we both played the clarinet, and we got to go to band camp. Band camp was so awesome. We learned so many new things. We learned tonguing. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Did I say we played the clarinet? Yeah. It's very important because, tonguing and fingering and how you should never put your mouth on other people's instruments. So, in fact, I always felt like a changeling, and I felt like I was Italian. I felt like I was Italian because I make my own homemade pasta. And I love being surrounded by a loud, boisterous family. And just once in a while, I want to put a hit out on my enemies. They do say, though, that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But I'm not so sure that in my case it's true, because I don't mean to do it, but if people have an accent, I start talking in that accent. It's not bad when it's British. It's okay when it's Southern. But when it's lisp... So I know my name is hard to pronounce, and I get it. I know what it's like to live with a difficult name, but I really feel sorry for Richard. Yeah, you know why. It's because Richard, he's fine here. But then he goes to Britain and they're like, Richard. Goes to France, Richard. Spain and Italy, Ricardo. It's no wonder he ends up being a dick. It's happening. I really like keeping up with today's lingo. Like, I can... But it's gotten to the point where I am scared to open my mouth. My adult kids will say, Mom, don't say that. Don't look it up. Don't Google it. And I'm like, what? I asked your dad for a string of pearls, a couple of tea bags, and a tossed salad? Whatever. You know what? I am just going to give up. I'm not going to talk. I am not going to talk. I'm going to go home, cuddle up with my husband, watch Netflix, and chill.